transform your life in 6 months. Sometimes life gives us a wake-up call. We look around and realize months, even years have passed, but our dreams haven't moved forward. The truth is, transformation doesn't require magic. It requires a plan that demands your focus, your energy, and your commitment. Today, I want to show you how just 6 months of unstoppable dedication can change everything. There comes a moment in life when the noise around you fades and a single question rises inside your heart. Is this the life I truly want to live? It might come late at night when you are alone with your thoughts, or in the middle of the day when you realize you have been running in circles, working hard but going nowhere. It could be triggered by seeing someone else succeed, by a missed opportunity, or even by the quiet dissatisfaction that keeps whispering, you were meant for more. That moment, when you feel the weight of staying the same pressing harder than the fear of change, is the birth of transformation. Because nothing begins until you make the decision that enough is enough. So many people keep waiting. They wait for the economy to get better, for a miracle, for someone to come and open the door to their dreams. They wait for January to make resolutions, for Monday to start fresh, for some imaginary future when conditions will be perfect. But here is the truth: that perfect day will never come. Life will always be messy. There will always be bills to pay, responsibilities to handle, and obstacles to face. If you keep waiting for everything to be right, you will be waiting forever. The clock doesn't pause for anyone. 6 months will pass anyway, whether you use them to grow or waste them staying the same. Making the decision to change your life in 6 months does not require courage at the beginning. It requires honesty. Honesty to admit that what you are doing right now is not taking you where you want to go. Honesty to admit that you are capable of more than the life you are living. For many people, this is the hardest part, because it is easier to complain than to commit. It is easier to blame circumstances than to take responsibility. It is easier to talk about your dreams than to put in the work every single day. But once you make that decision, truly make it, something shifts inside you. It is like flipping a switch in your mind. The world looks the same, but you no longer feel the same. Suddenly, excuses sound weaker, distractions feel heavier, and wasting time becomes painful because you know you have a mission. The decision itself creates energy. It wakes you up in the morning with purpose. It gives you courage when things get hard because you have already told yourself, I am doing this no matter what. Think about it. 6 months of focus can completely rewrite your story. If you start today, by the time you finish, you could be in a different career, a different financial situation, a different level of health, or a different stage of personal growth. But none of that will happen unless you stand up today and say, this is the moment my life begins to change. Because transformation never starts with luck, with talent, or even with resources. It always starts with a decision. A decision so strong that it cuts off every other option except moving forward. Once you have made the decision to transform your life in 6 months, the next crucial step is to create a clear vision and set concrete goals. Because decision alone gives you the spark, but vision gives you direction. It turns raw desire into a roadmap you can follow. Far too many people start their journey with enthusiasm, but lose momentum because they do not truly know what they want. They say they want to be successful, but success is a vague word. It means different things to different people. If you cannot define success for yourself, the world will define it for you. And that is how people end up chasing things they never really wanted, feeling empty even when they win. So the first thing you must do is stop and ask yourself, what does success look like for me 6 months from now? Do not think in terms of what society expects from you, what your friends will applaud, or what will make you look good online. Think about what will make you proud when you look in the mirror. Maybe for you, success is starting that side business you have been postponing for years. Maybe it is paying off a debt, losing 20 pounds, learning a new skill, or even rebuilding confidence after a tough season in life. Your vision must be deeply personal, because if it does not come from your heart, you will not have the strength to stay with it when things get difficult. Once your vision is clear, the next step is to break it down into goals. And here is where many people go wrong. They set goals that are too big, too vague, or too distant. They say things like, I want to be rich, I want to get fit, or I want to be successful. But these are not goals, these are dreams. A dream stays in your head until you translate it into specific, measurable actions. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be fit," say, "I will work out 5 days a week for 30 minutes and track my meals every day." Instead of saying, "I want to start a business," say, "I will research 3 business ideas this week, choose one by Friday, and launch a basic version within the next 30 days. Breaking your vision into smaller milestones has 2 powerful effects. First, it makes the journey less overwhelming. When you look at the mountain, it feels impossible to climb. But when you focus on just the first few steps, it suddenly becomes doable. Second, achieving small wins along the way keeps your motivation alive. Each milestone you reach gives you confidence and proof that progress is happening. 6 months might feel long, but when you divide it into daily and weekly victories, you will see results much sooner than you expect. And here is something else you must remember: write your goals down. Do not just keep them in your mind, because thoughts are slippery. Writing them down forces you to clarify what you want and creates a commitment on paper. It is like signing a contract with yourself. Put that list somewhere you can see it every day, on your phone, on your wall, on your desk, so you are constantly reminded of the path you chose. Because when you wake up each morning with a clear vision and a list of specific goals, you eliminate confusion. You no longer waste time wondering what to do. You simply follow the plan you already created when your mind was focused and your heart was strong. Once your vision is clear and your goals are set, there comes the part of the journey that separates those who dream from those who achieve discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Motivation might excite you in the beginning, but it is discipline that keeps you moving when the excitement fades, when the early mornings feel heavy, when the setbacks make you question yourself, and when progress seems painfully slow. People often wait for the feeling to take action, but the truth is, discipline asks you to act even when you don't feel like it, because feelings come and go, but habits built through discipline create lasting results. Think about how many dreams in this world die not because they were impossible, but because people gave up when the initial fire burned out. It is easy to start something when it feels exciting. Anyone can do that. But waking up every single day to put in the work when nobody is watching, when the results are not yet visible, when you are tired and tempted to take shortcuts, that is what discipline demands from you. And that is why it is so powerful, because it turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. You see, discipline is not about doing something huge every day. It is about doing the small, consistent actions that seem almost insignificant in the moment but compound into life, changing results over time. Reading 10 pages a day might not feel like much, but do it for 6 months and you will have finished multiple books. Saving a small amount every week might not feel like it is changing your finances, but in 6 months you will be far ahead of where you started. Recording 1 video, writing 1 page, exercising for 30 minutes. These things seem small in isolation, but success is rarely about one massive leap. It is about many small steps taken consistently without quitting. And here is something most people don't realize. Discipline actually gives you freedom. It might feel like rules and restrictions at first, but in reality, it frees you from the chaos of procrastination, the stress of unfinished work, and the regret of wasted time. Imagine waking up each day with a clear routine, instead of spending hours deciding what to do. Imagine ending each day knowing you moved 1 step closer to your dream. That sense of progress gives you confidence, peace of mind, and a growing belief in yourself. Of course, there will be days when you slip. Discipline does not mean perfection. It means getting back on track quickly when you fall. Too many people quit because they missed 1 day, 1 workout, or 1 goal deadline. But discipline is about building a lifestyle, not chasing a streak. If you miss a day, you continue the next day as if nothing happened. Because in the big picture, what matters is not the few times you fall, but the fact that you keep moving forward no matter what. The beauty of discipline is that it does not require talent, luck, or special connections. Anyone can be disciplined. You do not need to be the smartest or the most skilled. You just need to be consistent. Over 6 months, discipline transforms you. It reshapes your habits, rewires your mind, and builds a version of you that acts with purpose instead of emotion. No matter how clear your vision is or how disciplined you become, the road to transformation will never be smooth. Challenges will appear sometimes when you least expect them. sometimes in ways that shake your confidence and make you question whether the effort is worth it. And this is where resilience becomes the most valuable strength you can develop. Because success is not built in the moments when everything goes right. It is built in the moments when everything goes wrong, yet you keep moving forward anyway. When you commit to 6 months of focused transformation, you must understand something clearly. Obstacles are not signs to stop. They are tests to see how badly you want it. The world will not hand you your dream on a silver platter. It will throw difficulties in your path to see if you have the courage, the patience, and the determination to fight for what you want. Most people quit not because the goal was impossible, but because the journey was uncomfortable. They meet resistance and think it means they are on the wrong path. In reality, resistance is proof that you are growing. It is a sign that you are moving beyond your comfort zone. Think about any success story you admire. There is always a chapter filled with failures, doubts, rejections, or setbacks. The difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is not luck. It is resilience. It is the decision to rise again after falling. It is the ability to look at failure and see a lesson instead of a dead end. It is the strength to keep showing up even when the results are slower than you hoped, even when people doubt you, even when your own mind whispers that maybe it is time to give up. Resilience does not mean you will not feel pain or frustration. You will. There will be days when you feel like all your effort is pointless, when nothing seems to be working, when the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels impossibly wide. On those days, resilience is the voice that says, "This is not the end. Keep going." Because transformation is not a straight line. It is a path with twists, setbacks, and unexpected detours. The people who succeed are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. One way to build resilience is to change how you see challenges. Instead of viewing them as walls blocking your way, see them as weights in a gym. Every difficulty you push through makes you stronger for the next one. Every setback teaches you something you didn't know before. Every rejection forces you to improve, adapt, and find a better way forward. Over time, you stop fearing challenges because you realize they are shaping you into the person who can actually handle the success you are chasing. And here is the powerful truth. Success without struggle rarely lasts because it does not change you on the inside. But when you fight through failures, when you learn to stay calm in chaos, when you keep moving forward despite the storms, you develop the kind of strength that cannot be taken away from you. That strength stays with you long after the 6 months are over, long after the initial goal is reached, and it becomes a foundation for everything else you achieve in life. After 6 months of dedication, clarity, discipline, and resilience, something begins to happen. Something that goes far beyond reaching a goal or ticking off a box on your list. Growth and transformation start to take root in ways you might not have expected when you first began. Because real transformation is never only about what you achieve on the outside, it is about the person you become on the inside during the process. In the beginning, you may have thought this journey was only about losing weight, building a business, saving money, or learning a skill. But 6 months of consistent effort, of pushing yourself beyond excuses, of facing challenges instead of running from them, begins to rewrite how you see yourself. You stop identifying as someone who wishes for change and start seeing yourself as someone capable of creating it. That shift in identity is the real victory, because the person you are becoming will create success not just once, but again and again throughout life. Growth often shows up in small, subtle ways. First, you notice that you no longer hit the snooze button 5 times because discipline has become part of you. You realize you can stay calm in situations that used to make you anxious because challenges have taught you patience and perspective. You find yourself solving problems that once felt impossible because resilience has strengthened your mind. These changes might seem invisible at first, but they are the foundation of a new version of you. A version that is stronger, wiser, and more confident than the one who started this journey. And then there is the external transformation, the visible results that everyone can see. Maybe it is the extra weight you have shed, the new career you have built, the debt you have cleared, or the skill you have mastered. These achievements feel incredible, but what makes them truly powerful is that you now understand they did not come from luck, talent, or some secret shortcut. They came from the daily choices you made when no one was watching, from the habits you built when quitting would have been easier, from the persistence you showed when challenges tried to break you. What many people don't realize is that transformation is not just about crossing the finish line. It is about the confidence you gain knowing you can do it again. Because after 6 months, life will not suddenly stop throwing challenges at you. There will always be new goals, new problems, new opportunities. But now you carry with you proof that you are capable of change. You have built trust in yourself, a deep, unshakable belief that when you set your mind to something, you have the discipline, the resilience, and the clarity to make it happen. And this is why the 6-month journey changes you forever. Because it teaches you that success is never a single moment, it is a lifestyle. It shows you that the same principles you use to transform one area of your life can be applied to anything else you want to achieve. You realize you are no longer the same person who started 6 months ago. You have grown into someone who acts with purpose, instead of waiting for luck. Someone who creates opportunities instead of chasing them. Someone who builds the future instead of fearing it. When you finally reach that point where the discipline, the resilience, and the growth begin shaping a new version of yourself, it becomes easy to feel like the job is done, like the journey has reached its destination. But real success, the kind that lasts for years and keeps expanding into every corner of your life, does not come from one season of change alone. It comes from learning how to carry that energy forward, how to sustain the momentum you have built so you do not slide back into the same patterns that once held you down. Because the truth is, transformation is not a single event, it is a way of living. The 6 months are the launch pad, not the finish line. What often happens after people hit a major goal is they unconsciously let go of the habits that got them there. They think the hard work is over, so they relax, skip the routines, and slowly drift back into the same comfort zone they fought so hard to leave. This is why so many people gain back the weight they lost, lose the savings they built, or abandon the projects they once dreamed about. The reason is not lack of ability, it is because they saw their goal as the end instead of the beginning. If you want your 6-month transformation to create lasting change, you must shift your mindset from "I have arrived" to "This is who I am now." Sustaining momentum means turning the habits that transformed you into non-negotiable parts of your life. It means understanding that the discipline you built for 6 months cannot disappear just because you reached one milestone. Instead, it becomes the standard for how you approach everything moving forward. You start to realize that success is not about intensity alone. It is about consistency across time. Anyone can give everything for a few months, but the people who build extraordinary lives are the ones who keep showing up year after year, no matter what. Another powerful way to sustain momentum is to keep raising your standards. The person you are after 6 months is stronger, more confident, and more capable than the one who started, which means your goals should grow with you. If you earned an extra income stream in 6 months, maybe the next step is to multiply it. If you got in shape, maybe now you train for a marathon. If you developed a skill, maybe now you use it to create a business or teach others. Each new goal gives your life fresh direction and prevents the boredom or stagnation that often leads people to slip back into old habits. But sustaining momentum is not just about chasing bigger goals, it is also about building a mindset that protects your progress. There will always be new challenges, unexpected setbacks, and moments of self-doubt, but by now you have proof that you can handle them. You have faced storms before and learned to stand firm. This confidence allows you to plan for the future not with fear, but with faith in your own ability to adapt, learn, and keep moving forward. And perhaps most importantly, sustaining momentum means remembering why you started in the first place. Because the deeper your reasons, the longer your motivation lasts. When your goals are connected to your values, your family, your purpose, or your legacy, giving up stops being an option. You realize that the 6-month plan was never just about changing your circumstances. It was about changing your life direction permanently. So here you stand at the edge of possibility with 6 months stretched out before you like a blank canvas, waiting for your story to be written. We have walked through the decision to change, the clarity of vision, the power of discipline, the strength found in resilience, the beauty of growth, and the importance of sustaining momentum beyond the finish line. But all of it, Every word, every lesson, every strategy comes down to one choice you must make for yourself. Will you let the next 6 months pass like all the months before them? Or will you seize them with both hands and transform your life forever? Because here is the truth, 6 months will pass whether you act or not. The clock will keep ticking, the days will keep moving, and the world will not stop to wait for you. But 6 months of intentional effort, of showing up every day with clarity, discipline, and courage can completely rewrite the story of your life. Picture yourself 6 months from now. Imagine waking up with pride instead of regret, confidence instead of doubt, purpose instead of confusion. Imagine the people around you noticing the change in your energy, your results, your mindset. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing someone who refused to settle, someone who chose to fight for a better future instead of making excuses. That person is not a fantasy. That person is you if you start today. Do not wait for the perfect moment because it does not exist. Do not wait for the fear to disappear because it never will. Do not wait for life to hand you the opportunity because opportunities are created, not given. Take this 6-month window and treat it as the turning point of your entire life. So go, take the first step today. Set your vision, build your habits, face your challenges, embrace your growth. And when 6 months have passed, you will not just have reached your goals, you will have become the kind of person who can achieve anything over and over again. The next chapter of your life is waiting. Pick up the pen and start writing it now.